Did you know that 71% of sudden deaths in people over 60 happen during sleep, and most of them are completely preventable? Imagine this. A 74-year-old man goes to bed after watching his favorite show. He kisses his wife goodnight. Nothing unusual, no warning signs. The next morning, he doesn't wake up. His family is shocked, devastated, left with endless questions. How could someone who seemed perfectly fine the night before just die in their sleep? The answer is terrifying. He unknowingly made a mistake that millions of older adults make every single night. A mistake so common, so routine, that most people don't even think twice about it. But after 60, this one habit can turn deadly. It doesn't cause pain, it doesn't send a warning, and by the time you realize the danger, it might already be too late. In this video, we're going to reveal what that habit is, why it's quietly linked to nighttime heart attacks, strokes, and sudden cardiac arrest, and more importantly, what you can do tonight to protect yourself and your loved ones. Stick with me, because once you understand how this works, you'll never look at your bedtime routine the same way again. Most people think of bedtime as a time to wind down, relax, and prepare for sleep. But what if I told you that the way you end your day could actually be putting your life at risk, especially after the age of 60? As we get older, our bodies become far less forgiving. Your heart doesn't recover the way it used to. Your blood vessels aren't as flexible, and your digestive system slows down significantly. And yet, millions of seniors are still making the exact same mistake before bed every night without realizing what it's doing to their heart, their brain, and their chances of waking up the next day. A 2023 study from the National Institute on Aging found that this single habit increases the risk of sudden nighttime cardiovascular events by a shocking 71% in adults over 60. And here's the scariest part. Most of them had no idea they were doing anything wrong. Why? Because it's a habit many of us have done for decades, often out of comfort, convenience, or simply not knowing any better. You might be doing it too, even tonight. Think about your own routine. What do you usually do an hour before bed? Have you ever gone to sleep feeling a little too full, a little uncomfortable, or with your heart beating just a bit faster than usual? Those small signs could be the only warnings your body gives you before something much worse happens. And if this sounds even slightly familiar, I want you to pay close attention to what comes next, because your next move might save your life. So what is this dangerous bedtime habit that so many seniors unknowingly repeat every night? It's eating heavy meals within 2 hours of going to sleep. Yes, something as simple and familiar as a late dinner or bedtime snack could be silently putting your life at risk. When you're young, your body can handle it. Your metabolism is faster, your heart is stronger, and your digestive system works efficiently, even at night. But after 60, everything slows down. Your body needs more time to process food, and when you eat late, especially rich, fatty, or sugary foods, it creates a chain reaction that disrupts your entire system while you sleep. Instead of entering deep, restorative rest, your body stays alert, working overtime to break down the food. Your heart rate stays elevated, your blood pressure rises, and stomach acid increases, often leading to acid reflux that can creep into your throat while you lie flat. This alone can trigger coughing, choking sensations, or even something much worse, aspiration pneumonia, a serious lung infection that is especially dangerous for older adults. But the most frightening part is how it affects your heart. During sleep, your heart is supposed to slow down and recover, but if it's busy dealing with digestion, that natural recovery doesn't happen. Over time, this increases the risk of sudden arrhythmias, nighttime heart attacks, and even stroke. If you've ever woken up feeling bloated, with chest discomfort, or a racing heart, you may already be feeling the effects. And if this sounds like you, take a moment now and comment the number 9 below so we know you're still with us in taking your health Seriously, because we're just getting to the most important part. Let's take a closer look at what actually happens inside your body when you eat late at night. Imagine finishing a heavy meal, maybe pasta, fried food, or dessert, and heading to bed shortly after. As you lie down, gravity no longer helps your stomach keep food and acid where it belongs. Instead, acid starts to creep upward, irritating the lining of your esophagus and sometimes entering your airways. For younger people, this might just mean a little heartburn or discomfort. But for someone over 60, this can lead to far more dangerous outcomes. One of the biggest risks is aspiration, when small amounts of food or stomach acid accidentally enter the lungs during sleep. This triggers inflammation, infection, and in many cases, aspiration pneumonia, which can be life-threatening in older adults. At the same time, your digestive system diverts blood from other critical areas like the brain and heart. Now, your heart is working harder, not less, just when it should be slowing down. This added strain can disrupt your heart rhythm, especially if you already have high blood pressure, heart disease, or diabetes. And let's not forget about blood sugar. Eating late causes spikes that your aging pancreas can't always regulate. This leads to high glucose levels overnight, which over time contribute to inflammation, damaged blood vessels, and even memory loss. You may think a small snack or a late dinner is harmless, but the truth is, your body no longer handles it the way it once did. What used to be just a habit is now a hazard. And the more often you do it, the greater the risk becomes, night after night, silently building toward a moment that may not give you a second chance. Scientific research backs this up in ways that are honestly hard to ignore. A major study conducted in Japan followed over 10,000 seniors for 5 years and found that those who regularly ate within 2 hours of bedtime were 4 times more likely to suffer fatal heart events during the night compared to those who finished dinner earlier. That's not just a slight increase, it's a life or death difference. Meanwhile, Harvard health experts have issued clear warnings. Older adults should never go to bed with a full stomach because it interferes with the body's natural overnight healing processes and puts unnecessary strain on the cardiovascular system. Yet, despite all this, surveys show that more than 60% of people over 60 still eat late at night, out of habit, boredom, or the belief that it helps them sleep. But here's the truth. That warm, full feeling you get after a nighttime meal might comfort you emotionally, but physically, it's a trap. Your heart doesn't get to rest, your blood pressure doesn't drop the way it should, and your chances of waking up the next morning decrease. So let me ask you something. When was the last time you had dinner after 8 p.m.? Do you ever lie down feeling full, thinking it's no big deal? Or have you told yourself, I've always done this, I'll be fine? Because what worked at 30 or 40 won't work the same at 70. And the scariest thing is that you won't feel the damage right away. It builds slowly, quietly, until one night it's too late to undo. So, what should you do instead? The good news is, this is one of the easiest habits to fix, if you start today. First, set a simple rule. Finish your last full meal at least 3 to 4 hours before going to bed. That means if you sleep at 10 p.m., dinner should be done by 6:30 or 7 at the latest. Give your body the time it needs to digest and return to a calm, resting state before sleep. If you get hungry later, which is completely normal, choose something light, gentle, and easy to digest. A handful of unsalted almonds, a banana, a cup of warm chamomile tea, or a spoon of plain Greek yogurt can help you feel satisfied without triggering blood sugar spikes or acid reflux. And be mindful of posture. Stay upright for at least 30 minutes after eating, even if it's just a light snack. Avoid lying down right away or slouching on the couch. These small actions make a big difference. Also, steer clear of foods that are fatty, fried, spicy, or sugary at night. They are the worst culprits for digestive stress and heart strain. Alcohol is another silent danger. It relaxes your muscles, including the one that keeps acid in your stomach, and it dehydrates you, increasing your risk for heart arrhythmias while you sleep. If you take medication late at night, check with your doctor whether it should be taken with food or on an empty stomach. Many seniors unknowingly combine medication with a snack thinking it helps, but in some cases it does more harm than good. These are simple changes, nothing extreme, nothing expensive, but the impact could be life-saving. Let me share some real stories that show just how powerful these small changes can be. Frank, a 78-year-old retired teacher, used to eat dinner at 9 p.m. every night. He thought nothing of it. He'd been doing it for decades. But he started experiencing strange heart palpitations around midnight and frequent nighttime bathroom trips. His doctor couldn't find anything wrong until one nurse asked about his eating schedule. Once he started having dinner at 6:30 and swapped his late-night snacks for herbal tea. The palpitations stopped, and he began sleeping through the night for the first time in years. Then there's Mary, age 69, who struggled with chronic nighttime coughing and fatigue. She assumed it was allergies or just part of getting older, but it turned out to be acid reflux, caused by eating cookies and milk before bed. After cutting out her nightly sweets, not only did the coughing disappear, but her energy levels improved dramatically. These stories are not rare. They're everywhere, quietly unfolding in homes just like yours. Your body after 60 is not broken. It's just more sensitive, more reactive. It's like a classic car. It still runs beautifully, but it needs better care, more attention, and fewer stressors. Late night eating might seem small, but over time, it places repeated, invisible stress on the systems that keep you alive. And just like a crack in a foundation, it doesn't seem like a problem until everything collapses. The best part? You have control. You can change this tonight. You can choose to protect your body instead of pushing it past its limits. Here's the bottom line. Sudden death during sleep is not always random. It's often the result of years of quiet, invisible damage caused by habits we thought were harmless. But now you know better. What you do tonight can directly affect whether you wake up feeling rested or don't wake up at all. This isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to empower you. You have the power to reverse the risk. It starts with one simple decision. Eat earlier. Skip the heavy dinners, avoid the late night snacks, and give your heart and digestive system the rest they deserve. Try it for just 1 week and see how your body responds. You might sleep deeper, wake up clearer, feel lighter in the morning, and, most importantly, you'll know you're doing something that protects your life. Don't wait for a scare, a hospital visit, or a loss in your family to make this change. Prevention only works when it starts now. So tonight, when you reach for that snack or think about a late meal, pause and remember what's really at stake. If this video opened your eyes, tell us in the comments below. What's the one change you'll make tonight? And if you haven't already, hit subscribe for more life-saving insights just like this, because we're here to help you stay strong, stay sharp, and stay alive.